Welcome to Ek Boon Soch Ki Tea Talk Train of Thought. In each and every episode, we try and come with a leadership series, entrepreneurship series, a struggle story, and the Young Achievers Award, which is there. This is a platform basically for of the people, for the people, by the people, where we share some of our stories. And today, on 26th anniversary of Samshika Consultancy, we are here there with brand guru Mr. Jagdeep Kapoor. So thanks a lot for making to this Tea Talk channel. I'll just tell you, when we talk in terms of Ek Boon Soch Ki, I remember I had been to one of your national seminar on rural marketing. That was the first time when I came across brand guru Jagdeep Kapoor. And एक बूंद सोच की वहाँ से जो मैंने कैप्चर की, आपकी कई किताबें जो आपने लिखी हुई है, इट्स रियली इंस्पिरेशनल बुक्स विच आर देयर. एंड देन द पंच लाइन, जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. सो दैट वाज द टाइम दैट पंच लाइन हैड ड्रिवन टू मी टिल दिस. So with this, I think then while I've first time when I saw you, when I've listened to you on that particular platform, then I said no. I think next time when I should catch up with brand guru Jagdeep Kapoor, like. So then I was very aggressive in my PhD, and then when my PhD got through, I said my very first book has to be forwarded by none other than brand guru Jagdeep Kapoor.
Right.
So I remember in 2010. You have given a forward for that book.
Yes.
And then again, today is the day when we are celebrating 26th anniversary of Samshika Marketing Consultancy, brand marketing consultancy. Like, so I'm fortunate to be there with you on a Tea Talk platform.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank. A brief introduction of brand guru Jagdeep Kapoor. For more than 30 years, he has been there into the brand creation. He is the chairman managing director of Samshika Marketing Consultancy Private Limited. That's the first strategic brand marketing consultancy in India. And he is also a brand marketing expert on the various news channels like BBC, NDTV, Star TV and CNBC. Mr. Jagdeep Kapoor have conducted over 1,008 training program, then 2,733 students trained, and 21,410 managers which are trained under him. And there are the various books what he has authored. The most prominent one is the 24 mantras. You will find there are the mantras, shastras, brand switch, brand segmentation, brand namkaran, you name relevant to branding, all the relevant books which are there. And also they have started in Samshika annual award, this thing for the young buddy managers, students, and also the publications what we have seen of sir in the Economic Times, we have seen in Business Today, Business Line and Business World on regular basis. And there are about articles, 1809 articles were sir have already written, and they are the impressive list of brands what brand guru Jagdeep Kapoor have created. To name a few like Godrej, Reliance, Kotak Mahindra, Fevicol, Bailey, FedEx, Blue Dot, and the list goes on and on. And sir is also was a chairman of an advertising works committee, and also chairman of an advertising club of Bombay, and chairman of a Bombay Chambers of Commerce and Industries. Sir, welcome to this Tea Talk platform. And if you just look at the profile and the work to what you have done in creating a brand, sir, it's amazing. This is a platform where we try and share a story of leaders from the markets as a brand guru. First, we would like to know your journey from the education days till the start of a career for our audience.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Chima, for inviting me to Tea Talk, and it's an honor being here. I remember you being associated. I remember writing the foreword for your book also, and congratulations for this Tea Talk that you have done so well.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm sure it's going to grow even further. I basically come from a family which is deep into education, and basically everyone in the family is in education. My mother was the principal of a school, an expert in English and French. My father was a professor of economics. My wife has taught in a Jesuit school, St. Stanislaus. And I've been teaching at the Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies since 35 years, marketing management and brand management. My son and daughter both teach at the MBA schools, and my daughter-in-law and son-in-law also teach. So all 8 members are into education.
Oh, I
And
see.
yeah, I began my academic career through a Jesuit school called Holy Family. And at that time, the Jesuit schools were like Campion, St. Xavier's, St. Mary's, Stanislaus, and very tight discipline. And right from KG to my 11th standard, I was in this Jesuit school. The Jesuits have a wonderful way of educating and getting discipline as well as getting sports and extracurricular done. So we've been there. My mother was the principal of that school, and my son also studied from that same school.
Nice.
And my wife, my daughter, everyone's been from convent school. So that was the academic career. After that, I graduated in commerce from NM College, and I was involved in academics as well as in extracurricular. I was the general secretary of the college there. And thereafter, I did my MBA at Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies, the 2-year full-time MBA, which is called MMS, and specialized in marketing. And that's been my academic career. And all along, I've been associated with the academic world. And now, this is the 35th year that I'm teaching the first year MBA students in Jamnalal Bajaj Marketing Management, and the second year MBA students Brand Management.
Oh, good. So, in fact, what made you go into the brand creation field? Like, it came by chance, or you had in your mind for brand creation? How did Ek Boond Soch Ki started?
So basically, the important thing which is inspirational is that when you look around yourself, and it's very interesting that right from the time you get up in the morning to when you sleep at night, you are surrounded by brands. And if you actually look at it, consumers don't buy products, they don't buy services, they buy brands. So if you get up in the morning, you will see that most probably the bed on which you were sleeping may be branded, and the bed sheet may have been branded, maybe Bombay Dyeing or Portico or Wellspun Spaces. Then if you go to the bathroom, everything in the bathroom is branded.
Yeah.
Whether it be soap, whether it be shampoo, whether it be the commode, whether it be the tiles, whether it be the towel. So you're fully surrounded. When you come out and whatever you've worn outside and inside is all branded. Then you have your breakfast. Right from butter to milk to cheese to bread to cornflakes, everything is branded. And then you decide to either go to study or to work or to your own business. And the vehicle you travel in is also branded. It could be a public transport bus, it could be your car, it could be anything. It's all branded. You reach your office or your school or your college or your business, then everything right from the laptop to the tablet to the computer to the pencil to the pen to the stapler to calculate, everything is branded.
Everything is branded.
Then you come back home and you relax, you have your cup of tea. Tea is also branded, coffee is also branded. Then you are in a position to basically have your dinner. Then you watch television, you get branded programs, and then you go to sleep. and you get branded dreams. So it's a brand new world. So brands are all around us. So therefore, it's part of life, and that's the reason why I decided to focus on building brands.
So I think it's एक बूंद सोच की घर से शुरुआत हुई and you went on those basis like.
Interestingly, many years later, when we did research and at Samseka, we discovered that an average Indian, not rich, not poor, but an average Indian, consumes 44 brands daily. So it's a brand new world, and I was very interested because of that. And it is part of human life, it's part of human behavior. And consumer behavior is a subset of human behavior. And that's how we consume brands. We never consume products or services. You don't say, I went to a 5-star hotel. You say, I went to Taj, I went to Marriott. You don't say, I took an airline and flight. You say, okay, I flew British Airways, or I flew Indigo, etc. So we consume brands. So, and even your show is a branded show, Tea Talk. You don't say it was a talk, so it's a Tea Talk.
Tea Talk, like, again, it's branded like.
Yeah.
Great. In fact, I think from home only the branding aspect started, like.
Right.
After getting into the first job, like, Voltas, like, from Voltas to Pride, we have seen the number of brands to what you have created. Let it be Fruity, let it be Bailey, let it be Side Down, Listerine, Blue Dot. Many brands which are
right.
So in each and every, right from your journey from Voltas to Parley, can you please throw light on that, please?
Sure. So after finishing my MBA, usually in our 4th semester, there is the placement time at Jamnalal Bajaj Institute, and it's an interesting story, and I'll share it with you. See, basically, I can't leave anything incomplete. So I will make an attempt fully whenever anything has to be done. So as luck would have it, it was my parents' wedding anniversary on 16th Feb. And that's the day I had to go for the final interview of Nestle to Delhi. That was my first flight that I ever took. And as per institute rules, as per the Jamnal Bajaj Institute rules, if you reach the final, then you have to attend the interview. Otherwise, the reputation of the institute gets spoiled. So, but on the same day, on 16th Feb, was another interview, which is for Voltas. And, but Voltas was the first interview, preliminary, whereas Nestle was the final interview. So I had to fly down on 15th and give the interview on 16th. So I missed the interview of Voltas when they came to the institute. I had already got some offers, but I decided that I will be building my career. I'll be traveling all over India, all over the world, but I'll be building my career from Mumbai. I'm a Mumbaikar, so I will be building my entire career. It could be any company, but it'll be from Mumbai. I could travel anywhere in the world or travel anywhere in India, but the base will be Mumbai. That I very clearly decided. So I got an offer from Britannia, and but after getting the offer, I realized that the company is now shifting to Bangalore. So I had to decline it. I got an offer from Ranbaxy, and then of course I flew down for the finals to Nestle, both from Delhi. And interestingly, at that time, there was history created by the Tatas, and this company called Voltas, which makes air conditioners, refrigerators, etc. They also had a very strong division called PCP, which is Pharmaceutical and Consumer Products Division. And what had happened is that for the first time in the history of corporate India, there was an ad which had come in Economic Times and Times of India wanting president of a company. Normally, president of a company is never advertised.
Correct.
So that attracted many people to apply for the presidency of Voltas. And I remember the deputy chairman of ITC, Mr. Ramesh Shareen, became the president. The vice chairman of Hindustan Unilever, Jagdish Chopra, became the vice chairman. The HR director of Britannia, Mr. Randeria, became the HR in charge here. And from Procter and Gamble, Mr. Ranjit Salvi came in as the divisional manager for pharmaceutical consumer products. So to my mind, I was very, very attracted to this company because I would get an exposure and so much of experience in one place. And all of them had just joined, and we were taken in, but I had missed the final interview. And so when I came back from Delhi, the next day with a friend of mine, I went across, and my friend had already got into Hindustan Unilever. Let's say that, I've landed up with the final, but I would be keen to be based in Mumbai. And so anyway, when I got back, the Voltas interviews had been over and everything was already done. But I said I have to make an attempt. So along with a friend of mine, who was a dear friend, Mr. Ananda Mukherjee, the global CEO of a very large conglomerate, he had already joined Hindustan Unilever. So both of us, we said, let's go to the headquarters of Voltas. And all that I'm going to request them is, give me 1 minute to explain and give me a chance to give an interview. That's all I will try. So we went in there, and I was there. I met the secretary of the Vice President HR, Mr. Randeria. And so I requested her that I've come from Bajaj and I'd like to meet him for 1 minute because I missed the interview, etc. So she went in and asked him, and he says, no, the interview is over. We have only IIM Ahmedabad left, and all the other institutes are over. And so I said, put me along with them, and if I succeed, well and good. If not, it's fine. But I need to meet the Vice President HR, Mr. Randeria, for at least 1 minute. So she said no. He said no. And so I said, okay, I'm waiting outside. And I was there sitting outside along with my friend, chatting. She came many a times and said, I don't think it's proper, Mr. Kapoor. I think you should leave. I said, I will leave at the end of the day because Mr. Randeria will have to walk from here only, can't fly. So I'm going to catch him. I just need 1 minute. After about 3 or 4 hours, I don't know, they called me in, and so he was very upset, and he said, what is this? I mean, your institute, we have finished the interviews. And I said, no, but I missed it, and because I had to go for the final of Nestle. I'm very keen here, so I just want 1 minute. And my 1 minute is that I missed the interview, and I'd like you to give me a chance for an interview. And if I'm not appropriate, you can reject me, but I'm keen. And that's all that I wanted to share with you. And 1 minute is over. Thank you, Mr. Randy. And I went away. And I felt satisfied. At least I made my attempt. I reached home. Those days, mobile phones were not there. So I reached home late, and about 10:30. When I reached home, my mom told me there was a call which came from a company called Voltas. And you have been invited to come next day morning at Ballard Estate to come for a final interview at 10:30. I said, wow. So the next day I went, and the divisional manager, Mr. Ranjit Salvi, interviewed me, and then he offered me the job. And that's how I began my career with Voltas. So basically, you can't leave anything unless you've attempted it fully.
Given 100% to whatever you do.
Otherwise, I would have felt bad all my life. I wouldn't have minded if I was rejected in the interview. But I would have been very, very disappointed if I had not made a full attempt. So, and then that's how I started my career with Voltas in the PCB division. The PCB division had pharmaceutical and consumer products, and brands like Saradon and were in Hoffmann La Roche, and there were other brands in Merck Sharp and Dohme. And then on the consumer side, there was Rasna and there was Amul. And so it was very good experience and very, very good people. They gave very strong training, and we had to actually work like salespeople, like all good FMCG companies do. And so the initial stages, I was working as a salesperson, going to 40 outlets per day. And I remember that working, and I was posted in UP. So working in
headquarters Bombay and working in
and then I was posted there. So working there in one of the suburbs of Lucknow. While working there, I was selling various things and all these FMCGs, etc. So one of them at one of the outlets, I went and explained to them that this is it, and it's 14 rupees 85 paise.
Mhm.
Now I could say 14, 14 rupees.
Yeah.
I didn't know the 85 version of Hindi.
Hmm.
So I said 14 rupees 85 paise. So the dukandar said that kya? So I said, so he said, जाओ ट्रेनिंग लेके आओ. So I MBA, so I said, हाँ ट्रेनिंग तो हो गया मेरा. बोला तुम फेल हो गया. That night, Dr. Chima, I went and bought a book and studied numbers from 1 to 100 in Hindi. And the next day again I went to that place. After about 6 months, we were all invited in a 5-star hotel with the chairman and the vice chairman and all of the president and everyone. And each one had to come and give a little talk, 5 minutes, as to what did you learn during your induction.
Okay.
So when my turn came, so they said, what did you learn? I said, I learned numbers from 1 to 100 in Hindi. So they wanted to know what exactly was it. I told them the story. It's very, very important to be in a position to be down to earth,
Yeah.
to work in the market. Even today, every Saturday, I still do 40 outlets.
Oh, you go in the
Yes, I still go 40 outlets. I personally go to the market. It could be in a rural area, it could be in another town, it could be in another city, it could be another country.
Mm.
Saturday is dedicated to doing 40 outlets. That's what gives the feel of the market and the
Correct.
reality. So that's how I began. And with Voltas, I was there. And then after a period of time, and I had some very good seniors and wonderful work, my divisional manager and my manager who was my regional sales managers, and then one day the national sales manager, Mr. Sharma, came down to work in UP with me in Kanpur.
Mhm.
And I remember that day, and I was very keen to impress him and doing my 40 outlets and all. But somewhere along the line, after the 37th outlet, I had to go to the next Kirana shop, and while going there, in between was a tailor shop. So there are two guys who came on a motorcycle. In those days, instead of carrying umbrellas, guys used to carry guns around. So this fellow was to get married. He had come from Allahabad, now which is Prayagraj. And so he asked the tailor, okay, is my suit ready? So that guy must have made his usual excuse, Master ji nahi aaye, 2 din aur lagenge. This guy took his gun and shot him. That is happened in front of us. Okay. So at that point of time, my national sales manager, Mr. Sharma, was with me. I was there. And the surprising thing was, he said, come on, let's go back to our hotel. And because there was a crowd, police came in. So my worry was, I still have 3 outlets left. I have to finish my 40. So he said, no, you don't worry, you come. And so those were interesting days. And virtually everyone who's been in FMCG and has been in consumer products, all colleagues, all people who are now in the top positions, whether a CEO or managing director of multinational or Indian companies, have all gone through that. And therefore, it's very, very important that your grounding is to be very, very solid and very strong. And I was fortunate that I got that opportunity in Voltas and was able to get the Tata culture also, and was able to look at the pharmaceutical OTC and the consumer products exposure also. And then thereafter I was posted back to Mumbai, handling as area sales manager of Maharashtra. And it was good. So that's how I began my career.
Oh, that was the very first episode of Brand Guru Jagdeep Kapoor. Like how he started his career, like after getting out from an B school and getting into a corporate world, like, and the various experience what sir had shared. Like it's not that you sit in the AC room and you devise the strategies which are there. You have to get to and ground realities. That's pretty important. Unless and until you sell the product, you won't understand what brand and branding is all about. there's an excellent experience exclusively which was shared on Tea Talk by brand guru Jagdeep Kapoor. And for further episodes of with Mr. Brand Guru Jagdeep Kapoor, please stay tuned to Tea Talk Ek Boon Soch Ki for next episode. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.